What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cash Money MMA. Today I'll be discussing Daniel Cormier's recent appearance on the Pound for Pound podcast. Now, DC, he was recently on the Pound for Pound podcast with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo, and he was discussing Jon Jones' legacy. There was a huge storm on social media about Daniel Cormier's reaction to whether or not Jon Jones is the GOAT of the sport. And I want to go ahead and break that down for you guys and explain to you guys whether I believe that Daniel Cormier is in the right or the wrong in this situation. I know a lot of people are calling him bitter. They're saying he's still holding a grudge. So let's go ahead and watch his reaction, and then I'll go ahead and let you know what I think.
Jon is at the level as far as UFC is concerned. As far as mixed martial arts is concerned, Jon is at the level. Jon is at the level that Conor is at, to where he could select.
I thought you were about to say Michael Jordan.
No, relax.
Like to where I'm leaving, man.
But
if you would have said that, I was leaving.
To be honest, Jon is in a sense the Michael Jordan that we've seen in MMA.
No, he isn't.
You don't think so?
You don't interview?
You don't think so?
You just want to be done?
No, DC, right now, really.
What?
You're gonna tell me going through everything that he has gone through? He's not at that level to where, obviously, we're not talking about the outside, but as far as in the sport, Jon is at that level to where.
So Jon Jones is. So you telling me that Jon Jones is Michael Jordan and LeBron James in MMA?
Look at Cejudo's face right there. Like, I don't know why Cejudo didn't even want to say anything. It looked like he wanted to say something right here, but he looks over to Kamaru Usman. So basically, I just want to pause that right here. I just wanted to say that I don't have a problem with Daniel Cormier saying that Jon Jones is the GOAT. He's going to go ahead and give his reasons as to why he doesn't believe that he's the GOAT of the sport or Michael Jordan or LeBron James. But it's just a way that he's taking so offense to the fact that Kamaru Usman could have potentially said that. That was the issue I had with it. It's okay if you don't believe that Jon Jones is the GOAT. It's okay if you disqualify him based on PEDs and things like that. But the fact that you're going to go like, hey, I'm going to step out of this podcast if you say that, or if it's a ridiculous statement to even think that, I think that was the issue right there where a lot of people took offense to it. Like, he went almost over the top with his reaction to Kamaru Usman. And Kamaru Usman wasn't even saying that. He was going to actually say Conor McGregor, but DC made it about Michael Jordan and LeBron James. So let's go ahead and see what DC had to say.
You going to sit up here real life on
hey.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras.
Hey,
Henry.
Hey,
Henry.
No, but let me finish what I'm saying. He's not far from it. He's not far from it. But this what I meant
Jon
to
Jones
say.
to me is, if I'm talking about a football or basketball equivalent,
Yes.
he is Jon Jones. And when I'm looking for a sports comp, is a guy who has done so much, but because of all the other stuff,
Right. Okay.
it's hard to put him in that rarefied air. Hey, if Michael Jordan was doing illegal stuff, we don't know about it. I can't judge him. George St. Pierre can't judge him. I know of the other stuff. So it's hard for me to say this guy's just sitting up there.
Okay.
Michael Jordan got done playing basketball in 1996.
No, he didn't get done in 1996. But anyways, I just wanted to go ahead and stop right there. So DC, obviously, he's bringing up the PEDs argument, and that's where a lot of people draw the line with Jon Jones. They're saying that because he did take performance-enhancing drugs, and he popped on a steroid test, that he's not going to be listed as GOAT. I don't have any problem with anybody saying that. To me personally, I still see Jon Jones as a GOAT just because I see his resume. If you take those fights off of his career where he did pop for steroids, I don't know when he started steroids, when he stopped steroids, things like that. I can't judge those other fights, but I just know that at least for that one fight with DC, he did pop. So if you remove that from his resume, in my opinion, I still feel like he has the best resume overall. He still has the best fight IQ. When I watch him in the octagon, he's outthinking his opponents, not just physically, but just mentally. And I just feel like he has a long period of time where he's had multiple champions he's faced and things like that. Now, it's okay if anybody doesn't want to agree with that. A lot of people say, nope, once you pop, it's over. We don't consider your career as legitimate, things like that. So DC is on that side of the fence. To me, where I feel like he has a grudge on Jon Jones is just simply because if Usman believes that Jon Jones is on that LeBron James, Michael Jordan level, it's not an issue. It shouldn't be something for you to go that overreaction where you're going, I'll walk off this podcast, or, you saying this in front of 5 cameras. Like, yes, you can say Jon Jones is the GOAT still in the sport. Dana White says that multiple times, all the time. Dana White's always glazing Jon Jones. So at the end of the day, like, it's okay to have your opinion, but then I could see where this grudge he has on Jon Jones appears, and I could see what everybody's saying online, that DC is still salty because even in his own interviews, he's done an interview in the past where he said that Jon Jones doesn't need PEDs to be great, and that he doesn't even need that stuff to beat him. So he knows that even if Jon Jones wasn't on the sauce when they fought, he would still lose to Jon Jones. And then you guys got to factor in, Jon took a 30-year layoff, came back, faced Cyril Gane, who was the number 1 contender at the time, outside it, and the guy who had to leave the company. But then he faced Cyril Gane. A lot of people were actually picking Gane. If you guys remember, the betting odds had Gane as a favorite. Jon Jones goes in there and smokes Gane in less than a couple minutes. So to me, he's still one of the greatest of all time. If you don't want to label him as Michael Jordan or LeBron James, that's fair. I'm not going to go ahead and go back and forth with the PED argument. It's either some people draw the line right there, some people don't. But I just didn't like that Daniel Cormier was having such a reaction to Jon Jones being labeled as a GOAT. I don't think it was that serious for him to go, man, you crazy. Maybe he was just joking a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. He's messing around. But at the same time, he kept on, emphasizing how ridiculous it is to label Jon Jones a GOAT. Let's go ahead and listen to what he had to say.
And people still don't want to say somebody's better. There will be a person that comes along that people will say replaces Jon Jones as the greatest of all time. Absolutely. He has not left such a legacy that it doesn't feel like it's ever going to be toppled. Jordan left a legacy that is so strong that we have seen LeBron James do what he do. We've seen Kobe do what he do. We have seen these great players, and they're still unwilling to say they're better.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pause that right there. So this is where I also have an issue with it. He's trying to now bring up Jon Jones' resume. Now he's not even talking about PED tests, I don't think, in general. I think he's just speaking on Jon Jones' resume and what he's accomplished in the sport. He's saying that he believes that, somebody will come along and surpass that, which is definitely possible. It is sports. People do surpass each other all the time. I don't know when Jon Jones' resume will be passed up, but for DC to say something like, oh, somebody will come along and pass it up as if it's easy. No, Jon Jones' legacy, his resume is insane. If you guys look at the number of former champions and the top competition he's faced ever since he was 23 years old, he was the youngest champion in UFC history. And right now, he's still in this era where most people have gone in and out the sport. For him to have this much longevity, take a 3-year layoff, come back and become the heavyweight champion, for someone to pass up his resume, I would feel like you'd have to go to like 7 to 10 title defenses and potentially get a second belt just to even pass someone like Jon Jones, which I would say is a Jordan-like resume, which is like a LeBron James-like resume. For someone to go out there and do some of the things that Jon was able to do and dominate guys, like the guy would go and party and come back and dominate people. Like, I think DC is now starting to underrate Jon Jones and his legacy. And I think that that's where a lot of people see him as bitter or, holding a grudge there, because I feel like he's going over the top with some of the stuff he's saying. You can agree that Jon Jones, maybe you disqualify him, but if you guys actually bring up his resume and the people he's beaten, you can't say that someone's going to come in and easily surpass it. I would say Khabib had the best chance of surpassing Jon Jones' resume simply because he's never been beaten just like Jon Jones, and he's dominating every opponent that he's faced. However, Khabib did retire early, with a lot left on the table. He was in the prime of his career when he left. So, unfortunately, he had the situation with his dad, and I totally respect Khabib for leaving. Anybody would, in that situation. However, it just was too early for me to rank him above Jon Jones in terms of resumes, guys. We're not talking about PEDs. We're talking about resumes and what he's accomplished in the sport. Jon Jones, to me, has the best resume in the game in terms of name value, entertainment fights, and in terms of just overall legacy. He has the best resume. So I just feel like for someone to come in there and surpass Jon Jones, it's going to be a long time before we see somebody actually do that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys agree with Daniel Cormier? Do you guys feel like his reaction was over the top? Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.